Wednesday of Holy Week. Our Gospel reading comes from Luke chapter 22, the preparation for Passover. After an incredible entry into Jerusalem, and then the chaos in the temple, we'd been spending most of our evenings in Bethany, often with Lazarus and his sisters. We thought the Master was comfortable there and would stay safely outside the city for Passover. But no, as ever, he had something else on his mind. So he sent John and me off into Jerusalem to find somewhere to prepare for Passover. I guess it's an honour to be asked, but I've been with him nearly the longest, though Andrew sometimes tells it differently. So why didn't he send a more junior disciple? Well, whatever. His instructions were both clear and very strange. He said we were to be met by a man carrying a water jar. Now, I don't know if you understand how it is here in our country, but men do not carry water jars. That is women's work. So the very suggestion was, honestly, ridiculous. But we had learned a couple of days ago that the Master had a very different view, and his understanding of the world was not ours. So, as he asked, off we went, walking fast to get ahead of the main group, wondering what we would find. The city gates were crowded as ever. In the build-up to Passover, the city was full, and it seemed it would be totally impossible to find anyone. Then John pointed out a man carrying a water jar. Just how did the Master know? And as directed, we followed him. We guessed he was a sort of servant. He entered a house, and as the Master told us, so we asked the owner if the Master could use a room. The words "the teacher asked" seems to be the key. He was expecting us and showed us a magnificent large room that we could prepare. We set about tidying the room. It's a good thing that we're fishermen and used to physical work. There was a table and mattresses to arrange so we could all recline and eat. In fact, everything we could need. It needed cleaning a bit, but somehow it seemed right to do it. But don't tell my wife, I'll be in trouble. Later, some of the women arrived with food to cook, and the wonderful smell soon filled the place, and we knew that the Master and the rest of the group would be close. For a moment, it seemed that we had arrived safely in Jerusalem without crowds gathering and very little fuss. We had managed to get into the city without trouble. It seemed we might have a good Passover. But somewhere in all our minds was the worry. Could this last? Would the Pharisees and scribes find Jesus? What would happen? And this is the end of today's reflection.